Sarah. I'm going to tell you about the history of the coffee house. Jackie Chan once said, "Coffee is a language in and of itself." I work at Starbucks and I definitely speak that language. And that language has been around for a long time. The origin of the coffee house started in the 15th century, and from there it made its way to Starbucks. I'm going to share the history of the coffee house with you and tell you how it traveled from the country Turkey to the brand of Starbucks. The very first coffee house originated in Turkey. Kiva Han, the first coffee shop, opened its cafe doors in 1475 in the city Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. They serve unfiltered black coffee made in an ibrik, which is a small pot with a tapered top and a long handle, and it's on your presentation aids. Coffee became an important part of Turkish culture. According to About.com, if a man couldn't provide his wife with enough coffee, she could legally divorce him. It was through the Turks' high value on coffee that cafes spread throughout Europe. The first European coffee houses began in Vienna and later in Britain. In 1529, after a time of war, the Turks left some beans in Vienna. Franz Georg Kolschitsky had lived in Turkey before and took the coffee beans as spoils of war. It was with these beans that he opened his own coffee house and introduced cream and sweeteners to the formerly black coffee. Coffee came into Britain by two merchant servants in 1652. These two servants, English masters, traded it in Turkish goods. When the servants left to make their business, they called it the Turk's Head. Ultimately, the English introduced tipping so that people could get quicker service. While the coffee houses spread and their popularity increased, espresso did not become available until much later. The invention of the espresso machine brought forth wide availability of delicious and frothy lattes and ultimately the brand of Starbucks. In 1946, Gaggia invented the espresso machine in Italy. With this machine, Italy began changing the coffee house with the sale of lattes, which are a combination of espresso coffee with steamed milk. Howard Schultz, the now owner of Starbucks, took a trip to Italy, and he became inspired by the romantic Italian espresso bar and the environment of it. With this newfound inspiration he developed, he created what you now know as Starbucks, a mainstreamed, high-quality coffee house. So you see, from the 15th century, coffee houses have made a long journey from Turkey to Vienna, Britain, and finally, with the inspiration of Italian espresso bars, they have come to the international brand of Starbucks. So next time you sip your Starbucks latte, remember the rich and exotic history all the way from Turkey back in the 15th century to the beverage that you're consuming today.